All right, so veterans can do pretty much anything they want to in this beautiful United States of America. You've served your country well, now it's time for you to make it big. In this video, I'm gonna be talking about how can a veteran start a business. All right, so first I'm gonna talk about how you can pick your passion. That's the business that you're gonna start as a veteran. Then I'm gonna talk about why I needed to start a business as a military veteran. And then at the end of this episode, I'm gonna give you a couple places for funding and resources that you can actually find funding that's pretty much given to veterans, and it'll help you get a boost up. All right, so maybe you're looking at getting out of the military, or maybe you're just planning on doing your 20 years and serving your time and getting to retirement after 20 years, or maybe you're out of the military. I want you to start thinking about what you would do for free if someone would just take care of your basic necessities like your food and your housing and your clothes and your vehicle and all that. What would you do every day that would get you out of bed at 4 a.m., just raring to go? What would keep you up late at night that it wouldn't be considered work? There's that old saying that if you like what you do, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. I want you to think about that, because if you're going to start a business, you are going to be doing that thing a lot. It's literally like a marriage. It is a marriage, really. You must love that business. It's got to be your baby. So I want you to think of what you would do for free if no one even paid you to do it. And that's where I want you to start building your business concept, your business idea. For me, that was land. I loved looking at land. I love being on land. I love sitting on land. I just liked being out, in the country, in the woods, all these things. So I took that passion of buying land for my own self. And this is, as promised, why I needed to start a business. At that time, 2016, I had just had my first baby. And here's the thing, I was always away, always deployed, always training, always on a deployment schedule to leave for the next event. And my first marriage did not work out because I was always gone. I was not a good husband because I wasn't there for my first wife. So fast forward a couple years, I met another woman. We got married. We have a beautiful relationship together. We ended up having our first baby in 2016. But here's the thing. History was repeating itself, guys. I was always gone, always away, always deployed. I'm starting to think it's just me. Maybe I'm going to be on marriage 3 or 4 before I figured this out. Well, I realized I was just gone too much, always away too much. I needed to build a financial fortress around me and my family that nothing could ever get through, and it was not going to be with the military. For me, I couldn't always be away, so I started building a business around buying and selling vacant raw land and starting replacing my income. The income I was making with the Army, I was able to replace that with land investing in a few short months. It actually took me 9 months to hit $6,000 a month. And here's the thing, my expenses were only $4,900 a month. So I now was financially free, and I put in my packet to get out of the military, and thank God it was approved for me to get out May 2018. So how did I do this? I started by picking the area I was currently in. They say that grow where you're planted, grow where you're planted. My area was pretty good and ripe for vacant raw land. I drove to and from the base every single day. I had about a 15-20 minute drive, and I drove by this land all the time. So that was my playground. That's where I was going to start investing in. And then step number 2, I actually found a list of motivated landowners, motivated to sell this land because they were behind on taxes. They had back taxes on that land. And then step number 3, I mailed that list. I mailed them a letter saying, hey, my name is Brent and I'd like to buy your land. If you're interested in an all cash fair offer, call me, text me, God bless you. And I gave them my phone number, and guess what? The phone rang. It rang and rang and rang, and I kept mailing and mailing and mailing, and I would buy one at a time. It was one deal at a time. The first deal made me $5,000. The second deal made me $400 a month. The third deal made me $13,000. My life was changed. When my life changed was on that second deal that gave me $400 a month, because that covered my truck payment. The next one was covering the van payment. The next one was covering the electric bill. The next one was covering the diapers. The next one was covering the formula. So before I knew it, I was at $6,000 a month, and that was almost about 20 land deals. And how did I do this? I did this in about really almost less than 2 years. And it was one deal at a time, one mailer at a time, one letter at a time, one phone call at a time. Was this hard work? Absolutely. But here's the thing, I talked about that passion in the beginning, the passion for buying and selling land. I loved looking at this land. I loved helping the people out of this situation, and I loved finding a buyer for this land. And most people look at land investing as something that they can't make money on land. And this is not a video on land investing, but that's just my story. Now, as promised, I told you I'm gonna show you some places to get funding for your business, your passion that you want to start as a military veteran. So the first resource I want to talk to you about is the SBA, as Small Business Administration.gov. That's a very good site to go to start checking out the loans that you could possibly apply for. One that I've applied for just recently is a 504 loan. This loan is going to help me acquire another parcel of real estate, another piece of real estate. This time it's going to be an office to run my business out of. This will be my second office that I'll be purchasing, and this time I'm going to use the Small Business Administration to do it. And it's a loan set up by the government that helps us veterans to get loans. Now, the 504 loan might not work for you. It might not work for what you're looking to do, but there are other loan programs there to help you find funding for your business that you want to start as a military veteran. Guys, if someone that you know needs to hear this, please share this episode with them. Share it with a veteran. Share it on your veterans pages, on the veterans groups on Facebook, and thank you so much for doing that. All right, now I want to share a story about a good friend of mine. His name is Daniel Watson. I actually did a podcast episode with him, and you can click the description and drop down a link, and it's basically how an Army captain is earning $10,000 a month. He's a veteran, he's still serving, he's actually in company command right now, and this guy is doing incredible because he started a business while still in the military. Now that business just happened to be land investing because we were friends and we talked about it all the time, and it's great to have other friends doing this. But here's the thing, when I was in the military, I operated in the shadows, and I don't mean this as a bad thing. I kept close to my heart what I was doing with my land investing business because I was afraid. I was afraid people would talk me out of it. I was afraid that people would doubt me or judge me or tell me I was making a huge mistake, because I was already being told that every single day by people. Why would you want to get out of the military? You've got it made. You started as an E1, you went all the way to E5, and then now you're an O2. You're accelerating extremely fast. You only have to do 12 more years to completely retire. I didn't want to hear any more noise, so I kept it to myself. And don't make the mistake that I did. Share with others what you're doing. Bring others into this, because who doesn't want to stop, just jump on a speeding train? So I'm going to share this episode with you as my friend Daniel Watson. He's making $10,000 a month. This is the second podcast I've been able to do with him on the Wholesaling Inc. podcast. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you've had fun with this. And guys, if you're interested in having me hold your hand through the land investing process, maybe your passion might be land investing. Maybe you haven't even thought about it before. Definitely smash that subscribe button. I come out with these videos 5 days a week. And if you're interested in scheduling a call and seeing what it's like to be a land investor, head on over to wholesalinginc.com/land and fill out the application. If we like what you have to say, we might even invite you into the tribe to be a rhino.